Phonology through ELA, Class EDL 602, Professor Dr. Coringa, Fall 2023, presented by Elizabeth Vázquez, Mayu He, Jennifer Cajamarca, Cynthia Del Pino, and Roberto Romero Valle. What is phonology? Phonology is the study of the speech sound system of any language, including the rules and patterns by which phonemes are combined into words and phrases. Phonemes are the smallest units of sound in a language that can change the meaning of a word. For example, cat and hat. If you change the first sound k, s, in a cat to h to get the word hat, that k and h are different phonemes because they make different words when you change them. In addition, MOAC 2020 refers to the word phonology as the sound pattern of language, as well as the discipline of the studying these sounds pattern and their mental representation. It is important to acknowledge that in English, only certain sequences of phonemes can be combined. For example, in English it's correct ducks, but not the case. For example, the East Africa English names the name Swahili Nsi, that means all person, and Nigoro Nigoro, which is the sound of the bell that hangs around the neck of the lead cow in a herd, cannot be possible in English.
Overview of phonological awareness. Phonological awareness is a broad term that includes phonemic awareness. In addition to phonemes, phonological awareness activities can involve work with rhymes, words, syllables, and onset and rhymes. Phonemic awareness is the ability to hear, identify, and manipulate the individual sounds, which are called phonemes, in spoken words. Words are made up of phonemes that always have a vowel sound. Phonemes are organized into co-articulated units called syllables, which are determined by how many vowel sounds there are in the word. The structure of a syllable consists of onset, rhyme, peak, and coda. Phoneme identity. Children recognize the same sounds in different words. For an example, the teacher would ask what sound is the same in fix, fall, and fun. The children would respond, the first sound, f, is the same. Phoneme substitution is where children substitute one phoneme for another to make a new word. For example, the teacher would say, the word is bug. Change g to n. What's the new word? The children would say, bun. Onset is referred to the initial consonant sound of a syllable. So, for an example, the onset of bat is B. Of stop, st. Rhymes, the part of a syllable that contains the vowel and all that follows it. The rhyme of bat would be at, and the rhyme of stop would be up. Peak, the vowel in each syllable. And the coda is the consonant that follows the vowel in the rhyme.
The target audience. This lesson will be delivered to a group of 16 kindergarten students, 4 to 5 years old, on an English day. In this classroom, we have 8 students that are ENL belonging to a Hispanic demographic community located in Staten Island. The students are in this dual language class and are learning both English and Spanish. Our our adjectives, content adjective is students will listen and identify for rhyming words in Hop and Pop by Dr. Seuss. Language adjective Students will be able to manipulate words and sounds to create simple rhymes. Students will be aware of word and letter patterns that will help them to develop decoding skills. Activity. We're going to introduce our lesson by showing an example of rhyming words with pictures. Then we will ask the students what they notice about the sounds of the word, similarities and differences. For example, cat and hat.
We will use the thumbs up strategy where students will give a thumbs up when they find any difference or similarities. Our lesson will focus on the read aloud Hop on Pop by Dr. Seuss. A preview of our book. Cup, pup, pup in cup, pup, cup, cup on pup, mouse, house, mouse on house, house, mouse, house on mouse.
Another activity we will be doing after reading would be bingo. So we will have counters for the students. Each student will get a sheet with rhyming words on the sheet, and the teacher will read the words, and each word that the teacher reads, the students will put a counter on the word, and whoever gets 3 in a row, 3 vertically, horizontally, or diagonally, the first child to get 3 will win the game.
After the bingo game, we will have a follow-up activity where the students will be matching the sounds of rhymes. So we will read the words together, and they will have to look for the word that rhymes in the other column. For example, if we read the word hat, they would need to match it up to rat. This activity will let us see how many of the students were able to understand the lesson that we conducted beforehand. Then, as a homework activity, they will take this sheet home, which will reinforce the rhyming lesson. During the lesson, not only will we have spoken about the rhyme part of the word, but we would also have identified the initial sound. So the students here would have to be able to fill in the missing sound. For example, in cat, we gave them the rhyme, they would have to fill in the onset of k. Some of the connections that we've made, some of the research or theory that we found that shows us why it's important to teach a lesson like rhyming words. We got it from Cardenas Hagen in her book. She said that one of the early signs of emerging sensitivity to this linguistic hierarchy of phonological awareness is the ability to play rhyming games and activities. Researchers have found that early knowledge of nursery rhymes was strongly related to the development of phonological skills as well as emergent reading abilities. So by having a lesson that may seem simple to some as rhyming is actually helping the students to have phonemic awareness, and it will help them with their reading later on. They can also make a transfer if they have this in their native language, in their first language, they can then transfer this to their second language.
Questions. How would you implement a phonology lesson within different grades or subjects? Describe an activity you would like to do quiz a class to teach phonemic awareness. What skill would you teach? Explain the importance of this skill. Why teach it? Please let us know.